Whoa, welcome to lesson 6.2, angles formed by a transversal. This might be my favorite lesson in the whole world, so it's about to go down, and I bet you're excited about it. Now, if we're going to be talking about angles formed by a transversal, we should probably know what a transversal is. And I'll tell you this, it's not where Dracula lives. Get it? Because he lives in Transylvania? Oh, Siegel, you are a jokester. Okay, what a transversal is, it's actually a line that intersects at least two other lines. That's what a transversal is. It's a line that intersects with at least two other lines. So, if you're looking over here, you'll see that this line right here, intersects with two other lines. This line intersects with two other lines. So this would be right here. This is our transversal. Transversal. All right, that guy, because it intersects the two other lines. Now, this is an important part here. This is going to be real essential. There's two areas formed now when you have a transversal that intersects with two other lines. You have this thing, which we call the interior, all right, and that's the middle of the whole thing. And then we have these areas, which is called the exterior, and that's on the outside. So here, let's label it. This is our interior. It's in the middle, right? And then we have these two areas. This is the exterior on one side, exterior. And that makes sense. This is the inside area, so that's the interior, like the interior of a car, and this is the outside area, so that's the exterior. Now, knowing this is going to be very helpful for today. If I were you, I would go grab two highlighters now, because it's going to be essential. Now, there's going to be four types of angle pairs that are formed when you have a transversal intersecting two lines. All right, and we're going to learn about these four today. The first one is alternate interior angles. The second one is alternate exterior angles. The third one is corresponding. And then finally, we're going to have same side interior. Interior angles. We're going to learn about these four. I know you don't know what these all mean. You're about to learn, unless you remember from middle school. So let's start with alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are a pair of angles that are on the inside, all right, the interior, sorry, the interior. Why am I, just erase it, Siegel. It's on the interior and on opposite sides of the transversal. Now, what does that mean? I know you have words here, but we should probably figure out what that means. Well, as you remember, I just talked about, there's two areas. There's the interior, right? That's this, and then there's the exterior. Okay? Now, alternate interior angles are angles that are on the inside, right? So it's going to be these angles that are on the inside, and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So our transversal is this line. They are on opposite sides. So an example of that would be 3 is on the interior, and on the opposite side is 6. So 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles. I know this might be difficult. A lot of students struggle with this, so it might be good to review this a few times. But you see how 3 and 6 are in the interior, so they're the interior, and they are on opposite sides of the transversal. One's on this side of the transversal, the other's on this side of the transversal. So 3 and 6. Now another set would be 4, which is on the interior, and 5, which is also in the interior, but they're on opposite sides. So 4 and 5 would also be alternate interior angles. Opposite sides of the transversal and on the interior. All right, that's our first kind of angle. The next kind is alternate exterior angles. So let's go over this. So we have our highlighter. All right. I'm going to highlight my interior. I'm going to highlight my exterior. All right. So alternate exterior angles are a pair of angles that are on the exterior, obviously, and on opposite sides of the transversal. Alternate is another way of saying opposite. All right. So these are opposite exterior angles or alternate exteriors. So where would those be? Well, let's see. we know that these angles right here on the exterior, 1, 2, 7, 8, So we need two angles that are on the exterior and opposite sides. So an example of that would be 1 and 8. You see how those are both on the exterior and they are on opposite sides of the transversal. So 1 and 8. And the other one would be 2 and 7. See how these are both on the exterior in the green area and they are on opposite sides of the transversal. They are on opposite sides. One's on this side, the other's on this side. So 2 and 7. All right. Our next one up is same side interior angles. All right. Now, what this is pretty much in the name, right? Same side interior angles are a pair of angles that are on the interior, right? The interior, and on the same side of the transversal. All right, they're on the interior and the same side. So let's just take out our highlighter. Let's highlight our interior, that's in the middle, and our exterior. All right, so we got our interior and exterior. So these are on the same side and on the interior. So where could those be? Well, our first pair would be 3 is on the interior, and since it has to be on the same side, we'd use 5. 3 and 5 are on the same side and on the interior. See, it's all in the name. You just got to keep track of the name. Now another one would be 4, which is on the interior, and 6. These are on the same side and they're on the interior. 4 and 6. As long as you go back to this name of what you're looking for, it'll be much easier. Same side interior. These are on the same side and they're interior. Kind of like back here. Alternate exterior. They're on opposite sides and they're on the outside. So 1 and 8 are on the outside and opposite sides. It's all in the name. And then finally, the one that's not in the name is called corresponding angles. And this is by far the hardest one to do. So pay attention very carefully. All right, this is by far the most difficult. Corresponding angles are a pair of angles that are in the same position. And that's why I capitalized the SP in the corresponding, because SP for me reminds you of same position. And what I mean is this, by same position. You should take your hand and do it the way I'm doing it. But look, let's do it this way. Angle 1 is up here, right? So hold on, I'm going to grab something. Let's grab like a piece. You can use your hand. I'm just going to cover this up. So if you look over here, it's in the top left-hand corner. Okay, top left, over here. Top left. I want to find an angle that's in the same position. So now I'm going to cover up the top half and look at the bottom. All right, so I'm covering this up, and now it's got to be in the same place. So top left is right here. So if you look, that would be in the same position. See, 1 and 5 are both in the same position. They're the top left area. So 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. Let's try this again. Just going to erase this so we can try it again. All right. Now let's look at this. We'll go to this one, 2. All right. So now I'm just going to cover the bottom half. You can cover it with your hand, and I'm going to identify that this is in the top right. Okay. I'm looking for the top right. So when I cover this up, okay, when I cover up the top, I want to find the one that's in the top right. So where is the top right? So this is the top, and it's on the right-hand side. So it's in the same position. So if you look here, 2 and 6 are also in the same position. 2 and 6. Okay? Let's keep trying these. There's more. There's plenty more. Okay? In our erase, we'll start over again. Alright, so I'm going to cover up the bottom, and let's look at this. 3. Oh, let's use a different color. 3. Alright? So this one is in the bottom right here. That's the bottom left. Right? This is the bottom left area. So now I want to do the same one, cover up the top. It's got to be in the same position. Well, the bottom's over here, and it's got to be on the left. So bottom left is right here. So let's look. That when I remove my hand, let's see what we got. We got 3 and 7. See? Same position. They're both on the bottom left-hand side. And I think you get the point, but you know what? Let's just try it one more time. Why not? Final one, 4. All right, this is on the bottom right, and I'm not going to cover up, but 4, which one is also on the bottom right? 8. See, they're both on the bottom right side, so 4 and 8. They look like they're in the same place. And that is corresponding angles, my friend. Alright, so now that we got our 4 kinds of angles, alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding the same side, let's do some identifying. And there's no math here, you just got to identify. So, we want to give examples of each pair. First, we're going to start with alternate interior angles. So, my recommendation is take out your highlighter, highlight the interior, alright, that's my nice interior, and highlight your exterior, okay? So my alternate interior angles have to be in the interior, so they're going to be on the inside, and opposite sides of this transversal. Alright, here is our transversal. So on the interior opposite sides, well, one example would be 3 and 7. 3 and 7, if you look, they're both on the interior, and they're on the opposite sides. So 3 and 7 are alternate interior angles. Another example, well, let's see. We have 2 and 5. Those are both on the interior, and they are on opposite sides. So 2 and 5. They are on the interior, and they are on opposite sides. Let's try alternate exterior angles. Let's see. Let's use some red for this. So they have to be on the exterior, right? Oh, sorry. Let's use green. They have to be on the exterior and on alternate sides. The name tells us everything. So the exterior, alternate sides. So let's see. 6 and 4 are both on the exterior, and they are on opposite sides of this line. One's on this side, the other's on this side. 6 and 4, both exterior, opposite sides. 6 and 4. The other example would be 1 and 8. 1 and 8. They are on the exterior and opposite sides. So 1 and 8. Boom, killed it. Now for the final part of this lesson, and this is where it gets difficult. We're no longer using numbers for angles. We're going to start naming them. And naming seems to throw people off, but you know what? I think we can do it. So before we get into it, let's just start highlighting our areas. Let's see. Take out my highlighter. Here's my interior, and here is my exterior. Okay? Got my interior and exterior highlighted. Okay, first we're going to start with same side interior angles. Oh, same side interior angles. So they're going to be on the same side and on the interior. Well, before you name them, just mark them. All right, same side interior. It's one is here, right? That's on the interior, and it has to be on the same side of the transversal, and so the other one's here. This is our transversal, same side, and on the interior. So we did it. Those are 2 angles. But the question is, how do we name those? Well, what I recommend doing is tracing the outline of each one of these. So now that you've marked it, start by marking. Now just trace it with your pen. Okay, let's trace these. So, for example, this angle is right here. This is our first angle. So I would call this angle A, B, F. And remember, the vertex is always in the middle. So this is angle A, B, F. My second angle is right here. So I'm going to trace this. It goes E, F, B. So this is angle E, F, B. And it really helps to trace it out like that. Alright, let me just get rid of this for now. So that was our first set of alternate interior. Let's try another set. Our other one would be on the other side. So B and F. These are on the interior, and they're on the same side, right? Now, to name them, once again, I'm going to trace. So this is my angle, so it goes like this. D, B, F. You see? Right here. That's where the angle is, DBF. And let's try our other angle now. It's right here, so we just have to trace it. G, F, and goes up to B. So G, F, B. If you trace your angles, it'll be so much easier. Now for the second part, we have to do corresponding angles. And I know there's 4 different kinds. We're just going to do 2. Let me just erase this. Let's do our corresponding angles. Remember, corresponding angles are in the same position. So to start off, let's try this angle right here. We have an angle right here, right? So it's on the top left-hand corner. Okay, I'm looking for the other angle that is in the top left-hand corner. Top left-hand corner, that would be right here. So now I just have to name them. My first angle is ABC. Notice how I trace it, ABC. And my second angle is EFB. Once again, I'm tracing it, and that's how it's done. I'll leave the second one for you to do. I'm hanging out my advisory, best advisory on earth. Peace out.